What's up? It's sign time, and welcome to the lore of BCW. Now, this will be a multiple part series of me explaining the lore of BCW. Do take notice that there is going to be a new lore once the big update comes out. So this will be explaining the old lore and putting together the pieces of the newer things that were introduced before the big update, okay? And starting it off strong, we have part 1, Before the War. This will be explaining everything that happens before the actual events of when we play the game. So, if you like it, please stay tuned, like the video, maybe subscribe, and yeah. If you want to see more like this, just tell me down below and comment anything else you want me to do because I'm down to do anything. Let's get into it. From the first cataclysm, an age of beginning, charity, the first work in piece of art, to the second, one long forgotten, considered by its creator perhaps even a failure, to the third, where the architect instead took a seat in allowing for his disciples to take construct. Throughout all of these, one thing has been the same. There has been one entity behind everything. Knacker, a being now known by many as the architect, as his name has been long forgotten. The one who sculpted the universe, cosmos, life and death. Everything exists because, well, he willed it to. However, throughout everything he has created, the most special thing was one simple race of people. Ones that could conquer anything. Ones that could stand on the same ground as this architect. Truly his finest creation. A work of art that lasted throughout every single cataclysm. No matter how frivolous, or how dangerous, or harsh it was. And indeed, this race was as great as Knacker himself. They were universally powerful, being able to take on many, many threats, capture them, destroy them, and use their power to their own advantage. However, one day, they detected a power from a nearby reality. Preparing their troops, they went out to search, as they thought that it could be a threat. Little did they know their suspicions would be right. But alas, they arrived, found nothing but a void, making them wonder in confusion what could have happened. Well, despite it all, they knew they sensed something. This emptiness could only have meant one thing. Such a being to exist with power like this, surely it was a threat to reality itself. Still curious, the higher-ups went to explore next, and that's where they found it. A giant spider, speckled with colors of light and dark. They knew immediately upon seeing it the power that it held. They found it interesting. So, being the race they were, they captured it and took it back home, where they would later deduce that it had the capability to consume realities. Unluckily for them, they had figured this out far too late. Soon the spider began consuming their reality, with nobody there ready and prepared for such an event to take place. However, this would take us to the very protagonist of our tale, the fallen hero, who was a member of this race, seeing the destruction that it was being caused. So, in a hurry, he grabbed his supplies, journal, paper, pencil, anything he could get his hands on in order to document just what this being was. He escaped the reality into another and began his studies. Soon, he was ready to face it, as to where he had named the creature Gilgamesh, the consumer of realities. The hero made a valiant effort, sacrificing himself by sealing Gilgamesh in his reality, which was no more but an empty void. This would ensure both of their demises, eternally being sealed together in this reality, forced to combat each other. However, heaven and hell have always existed eternally, but one that's often looked down upon is the mortal plane. However, within the mortal plane, there is a very special world, one where all the elements seem to come together. It's quite an anomalous place. It's one so anomalous that some could say that the world itself is alive. You see, Atlas is the spirit of this world, and is one of the strongest and most powerful entities to exist within the mortal plane. Not only that, but he can utilize all of the elements that have been bestowed to the planet by the various deities which govern the mortal planes. This world is very special, as it would soon one day become the center of a war. This world is also home to a plethora of substances and materials that cannot be found anywhere else, or rather very scarcely, in the universe. The forbidden crystal, moonstone, adamantine, mithril, and much more. Legendary materials. So, how did this planet come to be? Well, some could say maybe it's where the architect started his work. Others may say, it's just a coincidence. The truth is, we'll never know. However, there are some beings that just might. Regardless of that, there exist beings who guard the planet besides just Atlas, the very representations of the elements which make up this planet. While, as of now, they are not important, this place should be remembered, for its time shall play a major role in what's to come. A child was born. He had the greatest blessings of darkness and light. However, he mentally was not all there. This wouldn't impede his progress nor his potential, however. As Alricid grew up, he would eventually learn of a creature, a beast, a monster perhaps, that could destroy multiple realities. And in doing so, eventually he would decide to create a cult, one that would also become a key player in the wars to come. However, while this child was a prodigy, one day this obsession would come to be his downfall, as well as the downfall of all the other powerful beings. Through his actions alone, the unknown world would now home an unknown hero. That is the end of this part, so thank you for watching. And I do want to say that there are a few parts that I couldn't really say exactly without possibly being wrong. So like, I did want to say at the start that Ouroboros put the architect in hell, probably backstabbed him in some sort of way. That's what he put him in hell, where he was sealed. In the next part, I'm going to go to further detail. So the next part will actually be kind of leaving behind the storytelling perspective. So the next part will really just be focusing on the things that we've already established, but I'll actually be showing you the proof and reasons why we know this, and also the fill-ins that we can imply using it. Yeah, and also, please do tell me what I could do better in like my storytelling skills, because I do feel like I need to improve on that. That being said, sign time out.